Hi everybody, my name is Rhys Barber. I'm one of the audiologists here at Audiology Associates.
And my name is Taylor Green. And welcome to day 17 of Wax Vent.
Yeah, so if you've never seen Wax Vent before, guys, Wax Vent is where we post a new earwax removal video every single day, like a little mini wax calendar for you from day 1 to day 25 of December. Now, we can't decide which one of us did this video, so I think it might have been me, but we can't quite remember. So this one's got a really, really hairy ear canal, very dense cilia on the outer part of the ear canal.
Yeah.
And very dry wax. Now, one thing people ask us all the time in the comments is, why don't you trim ear hair? Go on.
It needs to be in there.
Yeah.
The cilia is there to do a job. I know some people's cilia is a bit more dense than others. Some people's are a lot longer, but it can actually help to stop, how do I put it?
Bigger bits of sort of dirt and debris for getting there, and dust. All the D's, dirt, debris and dust.
Yeah. Sorry guys, I've got a bit of hair like flapping in the front of my eye somewhere.
Right.
And also if we were to remove those hairs, that's another appointment altogether that we were taking up. That'll probably take us quite a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, we wouldn't do it anyway. It stays in there. It's there for a reason.
I think for a rule of thumb with me, obviously, if we can see what we're doing and we're not putting the patient at risk at all, we would leave them in there and we just sort of pull it out. Yeah. It's not causing us any issues here. This is we're having to kind of wiggle this a lot at the entrance to the canal. Not so much to do with the hairs. It's just the fact that this is a bigger, harder piece of wax coming through a much narrower ear canal, and that's what you find some days when you see our narrow ear canal removals. Forget those little cilia all the way around the outside of the ear canal. So if you've got a narrow one, what's going to happen is they're going to cross over one another like that, and that's what makes them look a little bit denser. But it's coming out really, really well. There we go. It's got a bigger sort of chunk coming away there.
That's quite a big piece, actually.
That's quite a dry piece of wax, that one, especially to try and get out of a little ear canal like that. It's not always the easiest thing to do.
No. You do sometimes tend to see the wax can sometimes get stuck and anchored in place with that cilia as well, especially some of the thicker, longer cilia. Like this is not too bad. This is, even though it's quite long, it's still quite dense. Yeah. It's not so much like a forest.
Yeah. It's not that sort of rope-like appearance there. Some of them, they get really, really thick pieces of hair in there.
Now you will again sometimes see us remove some of the loose hairs that have come away and that have dropped inside the ear. Sometimes you can get some ear canals that have quite a lot of hair, a lot deeper into the ear, but that's not where we expect cilia to be. So we always kind of know that that's loose and ready to come out.
It's knowing the difference really between what's cilia are little tiny hairs that are supposed to be there, but that you get, obviously as we get a bit older, certainly for me anyway, you get lots of hair coming around the outside of your ear there. That's a completely different thing. That's just it. The cilia has a job to do. Those bits of hair are just random bits of hair. Throwbacks from caveman days, I think, really. So it's coming away nicely on this one. Obviously this is the second ear canal. We've still got the standard size ulnar tube in here at the moment. We're having to sort of stay back a little bit just to give us some space to get this out of the ear canal.
And that's the problem with using olive oil in these cases as well. It sticks to the cilia. Yeah. And I know we do, in some cases, please never use them yourself, but sometimes we do use a cotton bud to try and mop up some of the oil near the entrance. But we know how far we're going in, so please don't ever use them.
And if we were doing that, it's mainly just to take it off those little hairs. So you'd use it just on the outside edge. Obviously we can see what we're doing on the side as well. So we're just literally taking the excess oil out so it doesn't blur the camera as it sort of coats the lens really as it's going in of the endoscope.
This has really got stuck.
This is putting up a fight. I think it's just an awkward shape. You can see the size of the ear canal there just by the end of the Jobson horn. Now obviously Jobson horn, great for this type where it's stuck on the outside edge. We can kind of just get behind it and pull it through. But it's not, as we've got it out, we've sort of wedged it in that outer part of the ear canal. There's not a tremendous amount of room there, and it's quite thick and hard almost, this piece of wax. So I'm trying to find a gap around the outside edge. I'm presuming it's me. I think it's me. Trying to find this gap around the outside edge there to pull this through.
without the risk of pushing it in further. That's that's the main thing.
And sometimes I will wedge it on purpose in that outer part of the ear canal, because if it's just a little bit too mobile, as you go to sort of scooch over the top of it a little bit, it'll roll that wax bit further in. So if you wedge it, you can just kind of work your way behind it and just squash it down enough to get the Jobson horn a little bit further. But this is really putting up a fight.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I can kind of see that's what you just mentioned about there, maybe kind of almost wedging it up against that side of the ear canal. You can see it's just broken off quite a large piece there. And you can see those little stubby bits of hair there on the tragus, and that's where the patient does actually trim some of these outer hairs. But those are not, it's not the same kind of hair that's what's inside the ear canal. So that's where all this kind of loose hair is, has come away and has fallen inside the ear. And
you can see the earwax has done its job there, because the earwax is meant to pick up dirt and debris, but if you have got anything loose, like these tiny offcuts of hair and stuff like that in there, it'll bind into that wax then, and it will actually bring it out of the canal. So we've cleared the canal, we can see further down, we just need to get rid of this, this remainder of the plug here at the entrance, so we'll just scoop this around.
It's almost like stuck in that.
It is. It doesn't want to come away. You can see it is still stuck. You can see it just pulling away there at the back end. So lift this up. There we go.
Oh, still there.
Still a little bit left. This was obviously the bit that was anchoring it in place, because as much as I was trying to pull this forwards, it would not come away. In this sort of bottom section, you can see it's really, really stuck down in there. So let's get rid of that piece. I think.
Any more?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit just at the base of the canal there, so we've got to get rid of that bit as well. So we're just going to scooch over. Now I find a lot of the time with Jobson horn a little bit easier to do these thicker ones. It depends really. If I'm right on the outside edge, where I can put a little bit of pressure on it, because obviously it's pressing against the cartilage, there's a little bit of give there, so it's not as uncomfortable as pressing on the bone a little bit further in. But I will tend to use the Jobson horn, so quite a meaty chunk there on that one. What are we going to do? If I say 1.25 inches? No. An eighth? 1 1/8 inches, I think that is actually, looking at that.
I got the easy one, I think. 3 centimeters, three and a bit.
Yeah, that was long.
You count that little tiny little bit at the end.
I'm going to do centimeters next time we can do inches. There we are, guys. Well, thanks very much for watching that video today. I hope you enjoyed it, and we shall see you again for day 18 of Waxroom. We're on the final stretch now. Not many days left, unfortunately. But as always, take care of yourselves.
Take care of your ears.
And take care of one another, and we'll both see you again tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Bye.